There are a slew of video games that were announced during the Video Game Awards show. Continuing on with a series I started a few days ago regarding video games you absolutely need to check out on your backlog. I want to talk to you guys today about Still Wakes the Deep. This came out in 2024 by the Chinese Room, and yes, it is largely a walking simulator, so if you just absolutely hate that concept, well, you may want to look elsewhere, but I encourage you to consider checking this game out because it has an amazing story and amazing visuals and a very constant, tense environment, which I think sets it apart from other walking simulators I have played in the past. Before I get into the nitty-gritty, if you guys like this content, do me a simple favor, comment, rate, subscribe, help me reach my goal of 6,000 subs by the end of the year. All right, so the Chinese Room is no stranger to walking simulators. Long ago, they did a game I really liked. Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. That was very much a walking simulator. You just walked and talked to people. That was it. There was absolutely no other gameplay. Here it seems like they've stepped up their game a bit with some stealth environment gameplay, which is what you're looking at here as you are trying to avoid this demonic creature. There's also some light puzzle things you have to do, like a memory sequence type thing to open something or whatever. So what exactly are you doing? Well, this game takes place back in the day off of Scotland. I think it takes place in the mid-70s. And you are a dude who is basically trying to run from a troubled past, and you decide that you're going to kind of go off and work on this oil rig out in the middle of nowhere, in hopes that your past does not catch up to you. And things go awry when the oil rig digs into something that is unnatural, I'll just say, unearthly maybe, and things go bad quickly. And this very quickly becomes a survival horror experience where you are set upon mission after mission, basically in a very linear style, to go through and to make sure that you can survive. You're going to come across survivors, some of which are more capable helpers than others. You're going to take phone calls from various different points on the ship as you receive your next mission, doing your best. I say ship, it's technically an oil rig, but whatever. It's out in the middle of the ocean. But you're just trying to stay alive. That's the name of the game. And as you play through the game, you'll uncover what's going on. There'll be flashbacks to this incident that happened when you were younger, while you're escaping in the first place, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. In terms of walking simulators, you know, I get it. It's not for everyone. There's no combat in the game. There's no inventory management, short of picking up random things that you see laying around the ground to throw as a distraction to get the enemies to move away from you. But short of that, you're basically going through a very scripted series of events, which really does limit the replayability of a game like this, because I think they could have done this better. I will say that. I think the part where they really screwed up was at the beginning here, because when the game starts and the rig is normal and everything is fine, and you can walk around freely, and you can explore the environment, and you can have fun. Basically, there's a map on the wall, and it's like, hey, you need to go meet up with so-and-so down at the commissary or something. So you start to head over in that direction to go and to figure out where to go. You can get lost, because at that point, the ship is open to explore. And I thought this game would rely more on that gameplay mechanic of looking at a map and figuring out where you need to go, using contextual clues and signs, and talking with NPCs to figure out where to go. That very quickly is taken away. It is very scripted. So much scripted, like you just saw right there. You know, I was trying to jump over a window that I feel like I should just be able to clamber over. This guy is pretty athletic. You're going to be doing a lot of jumping, climbing, grabbing, rappelling, swimming. Why couldn't I have jumped over that window? I don't know. You basically got to follow the yellow paint. And you can lower how much yellow paint you have or don't have, but there's a lot of yellow paint in this game. It's like, hey, this is the way to go. You must go this way. Don't go any other way. And even in the instances where you're kind of trapped in an area where there's only, you know, it's seemingly there's multiple ways out, the game will put things in your way, whether it be locked doors or barrels or broken glass or enemies or barrels on fire or whatever, that forces you to still navigate through a very scripted area. And I feel like this game could have done a lot better had it allowed you to freely navigate a little bit more. And I think that's probably my biggest frustration with it. That said, it makes logical sense in terms of what is going on with the scripting. Your character is very, very vocal. He's got a very, very heavy accent. They did a phenomenal job with the subtitles in this game because he speaks in a lot of slang. So he'll say something to his friends, or he'll say something, basically talking about the environment that just doesn't make sense, but you could read the subtitle and go, oh, okay, I know what you're trying to say. And it'll tell you. So they did a really good job with that. I recommend for that reason alone, keeping subtitles on, but the voice acting is phenomenal. The banter that this guy has with his buddies, the banter he has with himself as he's navigating and trying to figure out what's going on and how to survive, dealing with some of his coworkers, some that he likes, some that he doesn't like, is really well done. I think this is some of the best narration I feel like I've ever heard in a game, and I really, really liked it for that. But like I said, the trade-off is it is scripted, and once you complete the adventure, which will take you about 5 or 6 hours, you could probably do it in like 2 good settings, honestly. Like 2 good, just sit down, I'm going to grind for 2 or 3 hours on a weeknight, you could knock it out. But I do recommend it, and I feel like in terms of, is this the best walking simulator? I would say yes. I would say, honestly, I really liked Everyone's Gone to the Rapture a lot. But I think the Chinese Room has done a lot better this time. There's a lot more involved with this game than just talking to random people, and I think they did a really, really, really good job with it. Wrapping up with some of the sound design and the graphics, it looks phenomenal on PlayStation 5 Pro. It ran at a lock 60 frames per second. I know this stream is not doing it justice when I talk about just how beautiful some of the lighting effects are at night, especially when you're navigating through parts of the ship that are on fire, when you just have a flashlight and you're navigating through some of the oil areas and you're navigating through some of the other pieces that you have to uncover. It's really, really well done. I also really liked in this game how the sound design worked, especially when you are walking around and the oil rig itself is creaking and groaning and falling apart, and you hear your friends kind of running in the background, you hear the enemies chasing you. The ambiance of this game really does lend itself, I think, to a good pair of headphones. I think this is one of those games that you basically play at night, turn off the lights, turn up the sound, and just get immersed and lost in the world. So with that, I'll wrap up this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.